Hello, everybody. I'm making a recording, putting this on YouTube because I care. I don't want anybody else to go through what I'm going through, and it has to do with a water leak in our house. We've been in the house, well, it doesn't really matter, but over 20 years, and we had a dishwasher leak, etc. And one little leak caused about $31,000 of damage because of the hardwood floors and the tile pulling out the cabinets and that kind of stuff. It all happened early November when we had a plumber said it's a leak, pretty good leak. We noticed a leak, and so we had to go. We turned it into a homeowners. That's why we pay for homeowners insurance. And I'm not going to mention the name of the insurance company because at the end of the day, they did pay out. But what we went through with them is horrendous. Okay, they make like it's their money to pay out. We're paying homeowners, and this happened in Las Vegas, Nevada, by the way. Most people pay between $800 to $1,200, maybe more depending on the size of your house. So that's probably not real good estimates. But in my case, I pay about $1,100. My point was, so after about 3 days, the good news, the adjuster calls right away. So we started off on a positive note. The adjuster called, very, very nice person. Asked me a few questions. I told him what happened. So I had questions. Look, when these things happen, make sure you get the name of the person, which I did, the last name, the extension, and all that. And make sure you ask about food. In our case, they had to pull out the sink, and we had no cooking area, so we had to eat out for a while. Okay, and boy, I gained a little weight by eating out. But anyhow, so you have to make sure you save your receipts. Some insurance, and our insurance, they only covered 30% of the meal, so it's better than nothing. Hotels say, and also you make sure you get reimbursed in your power company. In our case, it was Nevada Power Company because they have to have a dry out company to make sure everything's completely dry before they can actually start working on your house. So make sure you ask them about that as well. You get a little bit back from that, but a little bit helps. It's very stressful. It's very, very stressful for me and my wife. It increased her blood pressure. So the next step was for finally, after maybe a month, okay, going back and forth, they came to an estimate between the contractor that I hired on this. And by the way, the contractor was J&J in Las Vegas, Nevada, A+. Not really their fault. I wasn't sure how it went, but since it was over $20,000 and I still have a mortgage on the house, about 17 years left, it had to go through the mortgage company. So eventually the adjuster says, well, we're only going to give you this amount, and you got to fight with. So my whole point making this video, you fight with them, you argue with them, and they're going to come out with a low amount, and you say no. Do not be afraid. You be direct, but you got to fight with these people. Okay, forget about it. You got to really fight with these adjusters and tell them no. It's some other things, and you got to. Anyhow, so after that, they have their little independent contractor guy come out, and believe it or not, the independent contractor was with us. He couldn't believe it. I mean, usually they're supposed to be. He actually was a little bit more than our contractor, which is very odd. So you can see that how cheap, in plain English, that these insurance companies are. So okay, so after that, we're going on now. It's they said our house be together before Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving came and went. No Thanksgiving, couldn't cook, yada. They probably be done before Christmas. Now, finally, we get the check. So we got the check. An insurance company of $31,000 and $28,000. They release a certain amount. So they don't tell you this, but they don't release the full amount that's due for our protection. They hold a couple $1,000s until, I guess, in an escrow account until most of the job's complete. So now they don't tell you this too. So now you take your check if you have a mortgage. If you don't have a mortgage, then it's a lot easier, I suppose. But even then, that goes into something else. You got to be very careful releasing the money to the contractors. So now you send that check into the mortgage company, and this is where the nightmare starts. This is where it starts. And I'm not afraid. I don't care. Kerrigan Mortgage, horrible. Okay? You send the check in, overnight it, $25, $26 overnight it. It sits there for 48 hours. Well, what they do with this check, look at it, and then when they get the check, there's a bunch of forms. a W-9 form for the contractor. All these forms they don't tell you about that has to be signed. Okay. Then they tell you to go on their website to make life easier. And when I say forms, we're talking a packlet of 15 different forms, a waiver release. Then, so you get all these forms signed. You're on the phone. You're trying to work, and the people who do work, and you contact the contractor that you're using. In this case, J&J. Again, it's not that they got to fax over some stuff. So then 2 days go by, 3 days go by. They come up with something else. We're missing another form. We're missing the signature wasn't clear enough. Okay. You didn't initial right. Okay. Then they say, well, we didn't get the correct insurance bid. We didn't get the independent. We didn't get the budget. We didn't get the other bid. Every day it becomes something. You ask to speak to the supervisor. Your case manager is always tied up. They act like they're making money. They're making money because they're putting the money in a checking account, some kind of an account, making interest. I'm sure they are. So this goes on for a couple more weeks. Now, here it is, January 16th, 15th. And here we are, still waiting on the funds to be released so our contractors, okay, can start working on our house. I'm making this video. I'm hoping you guys don't have to go through this. So you ask these questions. Make sure if you have a mortgage in your house, that you tell your insurance company ahead of time to have these documents ready. Okay, like their estimate, their bid. Make sure that you're ready to prepare. Probably take a half a day or day off work, faxing, emailing. Make sure you get names, extensions, all this stuff. And then also to make sure your contractor has all those. You get a person in that office. Make sure that they're certified, first of all, which was not a problem, by the way. You make sure you get the correct person, because they have all their little estimators, the construction guys, the girls who answer the phone. Make sure you get the right person to help you out with this stuff. Okay, this is 2020, and this is how they are handling a home loss. Okay, in my opinion, I don't think the mortgage should have anything to do with it. I don't care if you owe 20 years, 30 years, 17 years, 5 years in your house. Check should come to you. Okay, you should sign it over in an escrow account with your contractor, or if you're a contractor yourself, and you release the funds as they go along. Okay, it takes a week to do. You pay them 2 days ahead. No reason for the mortgage to get involved in this. Okay. Well, this is a society that we're living with, all these different rules, regulations. Give me a break. So make sure that when this happens, that you report it to your insurance company right away, and you make sure that you get your adjuster's name, the extension, and you stay on top of him or her, and you make sure that you get in your title to the food laws, a hotel to stay in while the construction. And no, you don't want to pay out of your pocket for the hotel. Let them send you the checks. And if that adjuster doesn't move the rear end, guess what? You say, I'll hire an insurance attorney, and they'll move it. You speak to a supervisor. Okay? Anyhow, I'm going on and on, but this is important. I don't want anybody to go through what we're going through. So $31,000, this house should have been done months ago, and here it is. I mean, we're almost there, but we're not. We're almost around third base, but there's still some minor hiccups here. So if you like this video, please hit the like button, share it out to other people, and this has to be a little easier. So maybe if I put a video out like this, maybe you can put a video out like this, then maybe we can send it in, and maybe the insurance people, in this case, and homeowners, and the mortgage company, in this case, Kerrigan, will speed up and work on their little meetings they have. Their little monthly meetings can speed it up. We're the ones who work and pay our mortgage, pay our homeowners, pay our taxes. And when a tragedy or an event like this happens, that's why we have insurance. Don't be afraid. Thank you.